Okay, welcome to this onboarding guide from AllThingsCX. This guide is aimed at helping you to be successful as you move towards cloud telephony or customer experience services with AllThingsCX. I'm joined for this video by Darren Robinson, our founder here at AllThingsCX. Darren, welcome aboard.
Thank you, Chris, and welcome to everyone that's watching this video. Hopefully it's going to be very helpful as you start the RingCentral project with us, and it will walk you through these step-by-step actions, and by the end of this it should be very clear. And if you need to speak to us, please feel free to reach out to us with any help on this.
Now, we'll first issue some guidance. So whilst no project is exactly the same as another project, what we've found with our methodology and with the team having already gone through many migrations already is the most successful onboarding follows every step. So even if you're not sure about a step, that's where you reach out to your project management team from AllThingsCX. But here we're going to recommend that you go through every step.
Fantastic.
So let's look first at our assumptions. Now, Darren, there are a few assumptions here before we get into what a project looks like.
Yeah, absolutely, Chris. So the assumptions we're looking at here is the setup initially before we come in and start the discovery phase. So working with us, you would have had your quotation, you'd have then moved on to signature with the initial order form and a DocuSign agreement, which comes directly from RingCentral. Once that's all set up and approved, you then come into Know Your Customer, which is a telco regulation that every single customer has to go through to allow the telecommunications aspect to be spun up. So it's a case of showing your business ID, going through your bank details, and all these little ID approvals that need to be done at the beginning. Once you get through that, your account is then authorized, and then we can then skip over and start the project onto the discovery phase.
Perfect. And you just mentioned one of those phases, but first we'll go through Know Your Customer in a bit more detail. So you said this is a regulatory requirement. There are a couple of things that we need here, specifically some documentation.
Yeah, absolutely. So this slide deck is very important because, as you see, you have to come through where the KYC form is and just add in all the information they're asking for. Like you see, utility bill, bank statement, tax document, any kind of rental agreement or anything that satisfies the KYC, which could be subject to change as we go through. So what we have here on the form could be something different when your project is set up, but you just follow through, you provide all the information, and once that is satisfied, RingCentral will then say, yes, we can now proceed with your account activation.
This is also important because this is a protection for the customer to make sure that they're not being imitated by someone that's paying for a service with a provider.
Absolutely. This covers all regulatory compliance sort of procedures that need to be met, and it does stop any sort of fraudulent activity. So it seems like you're just signing up for a mobile phone. You're not actually, you're signing up to a cloud phone system, and you have to follow these right at the start.
And then once that happens and RingCentral are happy, then you're going to get your welcome email. You might also get contacted by RingCentral with an offer to do some setup, but that's where the AllThingsCX team come in. But your email is going to look very similar to this.
Yep, that's right. So if you're the account holder at the beginning of the whole process, you will be emailed this email where then you just follow through the steps to set up your account. If you can do it on your own, fantastic, because it is just going through a few steps. But really, if you want to contact one of the team, we can walk you through it. And then once you walk through it, then it should be very straightforward after that.
Once all those steps are in place, then we move into our project phases. So there are 4 phases here. We have discovery, we have our build phase, we have our go live phase, and we have business as usual. And the key thing here is that your AllThingsCX team are with you at every single step through this process.
Yep, that's right. So you can see the discovery, build, go live, and BAU. The discovery part is when we actually come in and start talking about the project in more detail. And you can see the steps we go through, which we'll kind of walk through in some more detail as we go to the slide deck. But really, these are the main things that we follow to ensure we have a successful project.
And what you may find as well as a customer is we've actually done some of the discovery work well before signature. That's kind of what we bring at AllThingsCX. We're going to be learning all about your business as we do this, but it is a distinct phase as part of the delivery.
Absolutely.
So our first part of the discovery phase is initial admin. Now we do actually have another video on our YouTube channel for this, but what are we doing and why are we doing this, Darren?
Yeah, so once you go to the setup phase on your email address, we need to have access to your platform. So what we recommend is to set up a free admin account, which the steps are going to put you through. And one of the team who will be your main engineer will then just give you a email address which is unique to your project and your company, and you then you follow through with the email account creation, and one of the team will then take over from there and start building the platform.
Perfect. And then our next step is customer discovery. So here what we're trying to do is understand as much as we can about your business. It's pretty templated. There is the business requirements document, and here we're trying to really understand who's using the platform, what sites, any config that we need to know about, especially anything non-standard. What are your typical gotchas here, Darren?
I think the gotchas really is, number one, it's just a spreadsheet. So in a more of a humorous way, it's just another spreadsheet we need to fill out. But the importance of this is this spreadsheet will then correlate to how we program the portal. So when we say about gotchas, I mean, it's really just getting all the information on there. We need to know all about your users. We need to know who has a phone number, who has a license, who is connected to any sort of groups currently. But also we need to kind of tease out the information, how you want it to look on the new platform. So the basis of this is getting as much information filled out on your own, and then when we go through the discovery phase, we'll then hone in on all this information and build the whole platform. But with this as well, the phone numbers are always, I would say, gotchas, because what we see quite a lot is users and numbers are added, and then down the line there's an afterthought of, okay, there's some numbers we missed out, there's a user we missed out, you might have had a new user come in. But on here we need to get this locked down pretty quick so that we can move on to build. And then once it's locked down, if there's any changes, we can then look at it and we can see, well, this version has this set up, and then if we need to change it again, we update a new version so everything is logged and tracked, so we know exactly how we've configured your platform.
And it's also worth saying here, whilst we're taking down information of what is currently there, moving to a new platform is also an opportunity for innovation and evolution rather than just like for like.
Absolutely. We want to really show you what the RingCentral platform can do. There's so much bells and whistles and features on there. But the best way for us to discuss it is when we see what you have at the moment, and then we say what we can do moving forward. And then looking down here as well, this is where we like to move away from the handsets, because we think handsets are quite old-fashioned, but we understand a lot of businesses need this. So we capture all the information on your handsets and how that's set up. We make sure that if you have to buy new handsets, it's allocated to the right user, department, and so forth. But also looking down here on the last point, when we look at non-standard requirements, we have to identify any other piece of equipment that has some sort of connection to your existing phone system. So like say paging, lift phones, faxing, emergency calls, etc. We have to get it all captured at this point. And sometimes going through this BRD jogs your memory that you might have a phone somewhere in the lift or in an emergency room, or have some special phone on your site. We capture this and we move forward with it.
And then we have probably the critical path actually in terms of timing. We have phone numbers and porting. Now, again, we have a quick guide to this on the YouTube channel. Glenn, one of our project managers, has walked through this in 5 different phases, but this is all about capture and making sure that we're landing this with the outgoing network to say what we're looking for. Darren, you've done lots of number ports. How do we make sure we're successful here?
For you as a customer to know what numbers that you have on your system, and also to provide bills over the last 3 months that actually identify the numbers and the number ranges. All this is part of the porting. So as you can see here, we need to identify the numbers. Then also you may have some free phone or non-geo numbers or other kind of weird and wonderful numbers somewhere that we need to actually get it connected to the new platform. And then once that we have all that captured, we then do what we call an LOA, and that is a letter of authority. That is a legal document that says to your existing provider that we are going to now move those numbers to our new platform. and then that ties into everything we've done on the BRD and on the BRD on the previous step, and that's how we kind of merge all the tasks together.
So the other key consideration, especially if you're moving to cloud telephony for the first time, is networking requirements.
Yeah, absolutely. This is probably one of the most crucial aspects of the whole project, is to ensure that your network is open for the connection between your phone system through your network to the cloud. So typically, if we find that you have a legacy system, you have firewalls, you may have old equipment, that you just need to ensure that it is configured correctly to allow the traffic to happen for your phone system. There is a very good document that we provide, and it just walks you through all of the ports that need to be open on your firewall. It also just looks at your existing network and your switches, and we have a look to see if you have stuff like PoE, or you have enough ports, and there's all that kind of bits that you have if you're going to go down the route of using phones on your site. And then when it comes down to the soft phones, you still have to make sure that when you're using a soft phone on your laptop or PC within the site, that the network is open, so you can actually connect to the RingCentral cloud system.
And I guess if a customer wanted extra reassurance here, they could opt for a network readiness assessment as well from RingCentral.
Absolutely. I mean, this is something that it's an additional cost, but it is effective. It's a 5-day probe that gets added to your network, and it just pings out. Lots of information over to the RingCentral portal. And at the end of the week, we can then look back and say, right, there's an issue here. These ports aren't open. Those ports aren't open. Or it might come back and say, yeah, everything's great. You're RingCentral ready. But also in the meantime, when that happens, it's the old-fashioned way. Just plug a phone in, see if it works, download the software, log in on your laptop. You'll know pretty quick if there's a problem or not. But this is for if you have many sites, or you might not have the skill sets within your business to actually go through this. The probe is a good option to put them first.
That takes us out of our discovery phase, and we then move into build. Now, the big thing here is this is where the AllThingsCX professional services team step in. The one major prerequisite here is we've already completed those initial steps. So we've captured all of that data in the VRD. We know what we're building. Darren, at this point, we hand it over to one of the team.
Yeah, that's right. So that'll probably be one of the guys, Tristan, Paul, that will come in and start configuring the platform based on the BRD. So when you look at the users, you look at then you have a look at the call groups and the IVRs and the phones, and all this is put together and built on the one platform. So once you have all that information in the BRD, it's pretty much lift and shift onto the platform. Then we go through the testing, and then we get everything ready. And in the meantime, we'll have someone like Glenn in the background doing the porting, the LOA and porting. And by the time the porting comes through with if there's any issues or the port date is being revealed, this all comes together as part of the build. So the build is done, the porting's happening, the UAT is being done as well through you, the customer, and it all kind of gels together.
Which I guess brings us on to user acceptance testing. So there is a form that we can provide for this. Takes you through all manner of tests. You could also, as a customer, add your own to this if you've got certain requirements you're looking to cover off. But Darren, this is crucial because it does confirm sign off as well before we go live.
Absolutely. So we need to get this. We're only looking at maybe 10 to 15 steps to look at, depending on what project you have. But we have to get this filled out so we're all happy that everything is working for the go live date. And this, as you see, you look at the what it entails. You've got the phone testing, soft phone testing, the groups and IVRs, which are very important if you have a sort of mini contact center team that needs to answer phones during certain times. We have to get it all tested before. And this is actually can be done prior to the numbers being ported, because we give you temporary numbers so that the system's live. It's just none of those numbers are published. You're using them internally, so you can actually just use the platform, run through the UAT, get it signed off, and then we're good to go for the go live on the port day.
Makes sense. And I guess the simplicity of a cloud-based platform here is when I was an on-site engineer and we were going live with something, you had like pages, like 100, 150 lines of test this, test that, make sure it goes through this. The beauty of this platform is it's all cloud-based, it's all very simple, very few steps to sign off and just confirm that you're happy.
Absolutely, and this can all be done at the same point as us doing the pro and doing some of the testing that we do, as part of the prereqs. But yeah, this is just to maintain that mostly you as a customer understand how to do things. Like you see the number one option is log into the RingCentral application. You should all be knowing how to do that by now. And then you go through, all these kind of checklists, and there's mini tests. Once they're satisfied, we're good to go.
And that takes us into our final step of the build phase, which is training. Now, there are a number of different sources for this. You've got RingCentral University, which has a plethora of different content there. That's also supplemented by training we provide. So administration training, we can provide that. And also we have the YouTube channel, which has a number of user videos, so directed for videos such as setting your audio up, maybe working within Teams. Anywhere else that people can go for training, Darren?
Well, yeah, I mean, we do our own customized training packages as well as the YouTube presence, but RingCentral luckily has so much information out there on so many different platforms. So, Google's the best way to get to start. But if you find that you need something a bit more bespoke, then speak to us and we can actually help you out by either sending you a quick how-to video, or if you need something a bit more tailored, we can do training sessions for your teams. And normally what we find is if you have a contact center type environment where you have a lot of calls coming into the system, you might have a small team of agents that need to be trained or have a bit more of a white gloved approach around that before they go live, so they're all comfortable with the new system on the phones. And yeah, we can provide that as well. But the beauty about us working with you is we understand how it's all set up. Excuse me. And we can pinpoint when you need some additional help with any sort of training and so forth.
So we've finished our discovery, we've finished build now. That takes us into go live. So go live is pretty simple. In theory, everything is signed off ahead of time. We have a date from our network of when the port is going on. What are we looking for on this day, Darren?
Well, we are just looking for the numbers to be ported to the RingCentral platform. So as through the project, we'll get a go live date, a port date, and we aim for that to be our day one go live. So on the morning, we get notification from RingCentral saying the port is actually happening. There may be a little bit of service disruption, and we like to say it could be minutes, or sometimes we have seen it to be a lot longer than that, but that's on very extreme cases. But once these numbers move across, you guys, you don't need to do anything. You'll just be in front of your phone, and then it'll just start working. Flick of a finger once we come back and say the port's successful. And then from that, once it's ported, we provide support with you and to help you kind of get used to the new system and some snagging, because there's always some things that we need to kind of help with, any sort of snagging or changes. Once you see it working live, you might want to change something. We're here to help you with that. And the main thing we have in bold as well is once you move over to RingCentral, your legacy system, you need to cancel that out, because you're probably paying for a phone service but with no phones, with no phone. So at that point, you cancel your account, and then we're good to kind of proceed on the new platform.
That takes us into business as usual and our lovely faces here. So ongoing support. So we have a number of support packages, Darren.
Yeah, absolutely. So we provide an enhanced support for your platform, which just means that because we built it, we understand it, and if you have any issues, you just inform us either through our ticketing system, email, or you call us if there's a problem. And pretty much you still have support from RingCentral, which is good. But on the larger projects and the larger customers, we kind of work with RingCentral. If you have a global platform or you have a global project, or you have lots of different offices in different countries, we can support that. But also we have support from RingCentral as well. But we like to call ourselves the enhanced support, because we know how to get into any issues and try and get it resolved a lot quicker, because we have access to your platform. We understand your business. We know your users, and we'll be able to fix things a lot very, very quickly.
And not just support here as well. You're looking at the AllThingsCX team providing you regular success reviews, and we have a whole world of content out there. We've already mentioned the YouTube channel. So it's not just how-to videos, it's also demos. So it might be that you've started with voice and you're like, well, could I add something else here? Could I work within Teams? Could I do video calling? Could I do messaging? We have all manner of different videos you can review there, and product updates. So, we stay in touch, but there's also plenty of content out there so you can continue to understand what's going on with the platform that you have just taken on.
Absolutely, and we want to be here as your business grows as well. So you might find you need to have additional features and functionality that you might not need on day one. We can help identify that and help see if that's actually something that would help your business. And especially with the age of AI and automation and everything coming in, we're here to kind of keep abreast. And you just watch our YouTube videos, you speak to Chris directly or myself, and we can keep you updated on what's out there and what's on the roadmap, and see if that fits your business. So we're here to be with you for the whole lifetime of your journey with RingCentral.
Perfect. And that is your onboarding guide, folks. So those are some key steps to make sure that you're successful. We are here as an organization to put that arm around you so you can be successful. Darren, anything else you want to
add? No, I think I've talked enough, and I think we've gone through everything. So no, and thank you for everyone for watching this, and hopefully this is going to help you proceed with your RingCentral project. And that's really it. I'm sure you'll hear from me a lot more.
And if you have any questions, obviously reach out to your AllThingsCX product manager. Going to re-record that. 2 for free. If you do have any questions, obviously reach out to your AllThingsCX project manager, and they will help you out with any of those steps and any guidance that you require. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you.